Let's go live. From the studio in the bonus room above the garage on the north side of Cary, this is the Triangle Talk Show. And it is May 8th, 2018. This is episode 6, Politics, Primary Responsibility. Try not to pop my peas. Yes, it is primary election day. The primary's over. As I'm recording this, it is about 9:45, and actually the results are probably starting to filter in from some of the precincts. So I'll go watch TV in just a minute and see what it was. But this is not a show about who won anything. It's about how we got there. And let's see. Is this me? Yeah, Gary Pierce. So listening to one of the 538 podcasts, their politics things, and they were talking about the 4 states. I think it's 4 states that are having primaries today. I know West Virginia's one, Indiana. I forget what the third one was, but then, of course, North Carolina. And they were doing the other states first, and one of the guys on the podcast said, as they were getting close to getting to North Carolina, one of the guys on the podcast said, my favorite controversy, my favorite, scandal or something was in North Carolina. And so they finally got to the point where they were going to do North Carolina. And he said, oh no, I was wrong. It was in Indiana. So they put North Carolina on hold and talked some more about Indiana. And then they said, North Carolina is boring, and they didn't do anything. They didn't talk about North Carolina at all. Well, big part of the problem with that is that we are not having any significant statewide elections. We're not electing a senator, not electing a governor, not electing anyone national except for our Congress people, which is significant, but it doesn't capture the attention of the media, the national media, as much as a senator or a governor does. So they skipped us. And then I was talking to somebody about going to vote, and they said that they were going to go. And this was pretty late. It was like 5 o'clock. They said they're going to go. And I said, well, you know what you're going to do? Have you done your research? And they said, I'm just going to get a ballot for the party that I want to vote in. I'm mixing this up a little bit. They said, I'm just going to get a like they were going to vote straight ticket, which is not possible in North Carolina anymore, but they were just going to vote for the party that they were going to favor. And I said, well, this is a primary. Everybody's in that party. If you take a ballot for that party, you got everybody. You still have to make a choice. And they went, oh, primary is confusing. They didn't go vote. So I had already voted. I voted last Saturday in the early voting, the last day of early voting. But I thought I'm going to go over to my precinct and take my phone, which is my portable recorder, and talk to some voters. This was about 5:30 or so. 5:30, coming up on 6. Polls are open until 7:30, so it was almost done. It was very quiet there. For those of you that are watching the video, I got a picture. The people you're seeing on the video here, on the still picture, are the campaign workers. There were 3 campaign workers that were there talking to the few people that came in. And there's somebody walking out with their baby. I think that's one of the people I talked to. And it was pretty quiet. People were just kind of dribbling in and out. So I did talk to 4 voters, 4, 2 single people and 2 couples, maybe 3 couples, about their experience in voting. And I thought I would play that for you. It's about 12 minutes put together here. So I'm just going to disappear and play what they're saying. And this will give you an idea of what other people were thinking as they went to vote in a primary election, and you'll hear me trying to think on my feet and ask them questions, which didn't always go that well. So I'll put back up the picture of the place where I talked to them. I would be standing kind of right in the middle of all that, trying to get out of the road, I guess. And here's what those folks said. You can tell me who you are. You don't have to.
My name is Olivia.
Okay, you live in Cary.
I do.
Yes. Don't beep at me when I'm doing an interview. And who you got with you?
This is Thomas.
He looks heavy.
He is.
This is a primary. Nobody votes in primaries. What are you doing here?
Just trying to be a part of politics and what's going on.
Civic duty. Do you pay a lot of attention to politics in general?
I try to. Not
how did you How did you prepare for doing this?
I got a lot of mailings and I paid attention to those and then looked up some online.
So you started with what the candidates were telling you.
That's
Did
right.
you believe them?
Mostly. I tend to be believing,
Okay.
trusting.
When you came over here, did you make up your mind in advance?
I did. For the main one I did.
Okay, so that's the Congress.
That's right.
Yeah. And then there was North
The
Carolina
Congress and the Senate. Yes, those I knew better than the others.
Okay, and the only other race was the Wake County Board of Commissioners.
Right, I didn't know those as well.
Did you know what the issue was?
I don't.
Okay, so, I mean, they do have an issue, but it hasn't received a lot of publicity. All right, that's pretty much what I was looking for.
Okay.
Thank you very
That's
much.
helpful, sir.
My name's Judy.
And Mark?
Okay, and you're North Cary someplace because of the polling place we're at.
Yeah.
This is a primary. Nobody votes in primaries. Why are you here?
Just seems like a duty to vote in the primary as well.
Okay. Civic duty.
Civic duty, yeah.
And
Absolutely. I mean, like, we care about our town and our county, and each decision should be made with a multitude of people in mind.
Okay. How did you prepare?
There was a website that kind of went through a paragraph on each candidate.
Did you get all the way down to like the county commissioners?
Yes.
Understand the issue that they're working on?
The main issues, yeah.
Do you remember what that website was?
There was one on WRAL, and there was one that was
from the
League of Women
NNO.
Voters.
Well,
Okay.
there was one from the NNO, too.
All right. That's all I need to know.
Yes.
Thank you.
Is it like a synopsis?
Yeah.
You're welcome, Mr. Pierce.
Thank you.
Good luck with your podcast.
Thank you.
I'm Rebecca.
I'm Jack.
This is a primary. Nobody votes in primaries.
Yeah.
How did you end up here?
Well, we actually just moved from Ohio, so it's part of the fun part about moving to a new state, voting for the first time in it, but also I'm a Democrat, and I just wanted to start the blue wave, so.
Okay, so you're a blue wave person.
Yes.
All right. How about this guy?
He's independent.
I'm independent.
Yeah, he's kind of in the middle,
Yeah,
but I drug him along because he actually was like, well, I have to work. And I was like, just come on, it'll be fun. So that's why he's here.
Yeah.
Did you take a Democratic ballot?
Yeah.
Okay, because there's no Republican ballot, so
Yeah.
there's Libertarian and
Yeah.
Democrat.
No, I took a libertarian, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, wait, didn't you say
So you didn't have very many people to vote for.
No.
Just the one.
How did you do your research? How do you decide who to vote for? You're a Democrat, but it's all Democrats against other Democrats here in the primary.
Yeah.
So how did you decide?
Yeah, I actually looked up each individual one. I read through their issues, like how because Democrats generally all support the same things, but I wanted to see what each one wanted specifically, and I watched some of their commercials, and I spent a couple hours.
Oh my God, you pay attention to commercials?
Yeah, just I don't watch that many, but I watched a couple of them, and then actually even before I did my research, in my social media and stuff like that, I've been seeing sponsored posts, so I have seen some of the commercials before this.
Just some significant differences in the congressional candidates, and almost no difference in the state Senate candidates. What swayed you one way or the other? You can tell me who you voted for. You can keep it a secret. This is America.
Yes, that is true. Did you say for the states or for the
congressional first.
So for congressional, I guess I went with the incumbent because I really like the way David Price has done things so far, just from because I'm so used to Ohio politicians, so I did have to do more research, and I did like what I saw, and then I just felt like the other ones, like not having as much experience, I was kind of hesitant, but I didn't really feel like it was like a lose either way.
Yeah.
So there's that, and then
This is like a super safe Democratic congressional district.
Yeah,
Do you think
I
any of
read
those
that.
candidates still could have won that district?
yeah.
Did you consider who might be able to win versus who matches your positions more closely?
Yeah, I struggle with that sometimes. I think I lean more towards my personal, like who aligns more with myself. If there's like a huge stark difference, like where you're like, well, they align with me, but this person has no chance of winning, then as long as the other person isn't drastically different from my beliefs, then every now and then I'll vote for that person.
Okay. You can chime in anytime you want.
She's got it, man.
He's just tagging along. Yeah.
And then for state senator, Wiley Nickel and Luis Toledo, how did you decide between them? There's almost no daylight there.
Yeah, so I actually really liked Louis Toledo because, like, I read that he comes from like a low-income single mother. I do as well. I love that he's a person of color as well, to bring a bit of difference to the, like, obviously I feel like our Congress severely lacks diversity, so I just felt like he could bring something else to the table. And I did like Wiley, and I once again didn't think that would be a loss or anything if he wins, but I just really I felt personally, I guess, connected to Louis Toledo.
Okay. So basically background. You like what he would bring to the table.
Yes.
So the commissioner race was the only one I thought there was very many issues, and only really one issue. Did you track that very much?
Yeah, the like the bullying and the intimidation or whatever.
I'm thinking more that we had school board versus
okay.
existing board.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I looked into that. I voted for Susan on that, with who had the experience with the school board, and I wasn't really sure about, because, like, on the one hand, like, I want to give her the chance because she has like that experience, but then on the other hand, like, pretty much what made me decide that was that the incumbent had been in there since 2016, and he just said, all I read was that he was an advocate for coming up with different ways to raise funds for schools, but like I didn't actually see anything where he really did it, and he's already been there for about 2 years, so I wanted to give her a shot. Okay,
so where did you go for your research?
I just Googled all of them, and I went, like, so if I read something on one, I always try to like check multiple sources, because obviously you don't want to just go be like, yeah, I saw this on the Ballotpedia. But yeah, I was just like, I don't have any specific websites in mind. I just went through like the top Google hits on each of them.
Did you feel like you got enough information in depth to really understand, or was it pretty superficial?
Yeah, I would say, like, obviously, like, the incumbents have way more information on them, and that's really unfortunate. And then there were a couple candidates that I think did more campaigning. But I felt like it was like a half and half thing. Like, there were some of them that I could barely find any information on. I really had to dig for. And then whenever they didn't really have any information, I kind of had to just be like, okay, well, with the information I have, this is what I have to do. So.
And how much time did you think you spent overall figuring this out?
I would say about, because that's what I did with my morning. So I would say probably like 3 hours.
Sounds like today.
Yeah, I mean, aside from like the like political commercials and stuff I've seen over the past couple of weeks. So like we have cable, but we don't ever watch it. So I haven't really seen that many. It would just be on my social media. But yeah, I've done like, I've clicked on those and like kind of read through their websites. But I say my in-depth research was definitely just this morning, and it was, yeah. Couple hours long.
Politically and socially active. Thank you very much.
I try to be. Okay, but thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck with your podcast.
Thank you.
Cheryl Bolton. And Tavon Stevens.
All right. And this is a primary.
Yes.
Nobody votes in primaries. Why are you here?
Well, because it's very important to vote in the primary. This is the time where people get in and laws are made. And then you wonder why, and that's because you didn't vote in the primary.
So it started here.
It started here. It starts here.
How did you do your research? How did you figure out who to vote for?
Well, I do a lot of tweeting, a lot of Twitter, follow a lot of people on Twitter, a lot of campaigns, ad campaigns on television. Kind of made my decision. Education's important.
Do
So
you watch the commercials?
watch the commercials. Yes, yes.
Can
How
we-
can you miss the commercials?
Can we believe anything we see on the commercials?
I think you can believe what you see on the commercials. I think people are at a time where they're genuine about change. So
So you knew who you were going to vote for before you came here, right?
yes, I did.
You made your mind up. How much time did you spend figuring it out?
Didn't take me long. I mean, I already kind of had it in my mind. Who I was going to vote for, so not long.
Okay, so it sounds like Twitter was a big influence.
Twitter was a big influence, yes.
And that means people that you know or
We'll know the candidates themselves and
Okay.
just,
Listen to
seeing
what
the issues that they talk about online.
what would a candidate say to you that got your vote?
Well, a lot. They want to see a lot of change in Washington. They don't want to play the politic game.
Everybody wants change in Washington.
Everybody wants change.
Nobody wants to play politics.
Exactly. Well, education for North Carolina and just, employment, unemployment rate, and seeing employment come to North Carolina, things of that nature are very
Yeah,
important.
but those are all like generic, bland, blah, blah, blah politics.
Well, but
stuff.
that's where we are right now.
But that doesn't tell me one guy versus the other, because they're all saying that, aren't they?
Not everybody is saying that. Not everybody is saying that. They're saying it in different ways. They're saying it, but they're saying it in different ways. So, I mean, I won't say who my candidate is, but he has had a big influence on, like I said, Twitter, and just following him and the things that he's had to say
Okay.
about what's happening in this country.
This gentleman next to you is not talking very much. And all the couples that I get, the woman does all the talking.
Well, this is my son.
That's my
so
mom.
Oh,
just
okay.
to be sure he came out to vote.
Yeah,
I thought he was your
okay.
grandpa. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I'm here for her.
you dragged him in.
I did.
Have you got strong opinions of your own at this point yet, or are you still working on it?
I do. I do on some things, but as far as the primary elections, I haven't really looked into them.
Yeah.
So I'm getting my information from her.
Okay, you told him who to vote for.
Told him what to vote for.
Okay.
I persuaded him.
And you're quite persuasive.
I am. I hope so. I got him here, so that's a start.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
listen. Do you ever listen to podcasts?
I do, and I'll be sure to listen to Gary Pierce.
and the Triangle Talk Show.
Yes, and the Triangle Talk Show. So yes, I will definitely.
At least until you hear yourself, and then you'll say, "Okay, I'm done with this
Oh
show."
no, I'll keep listening to you, and I'll call you, and you'll say, "Oh goodness, this is Cheryl on the phone again. This is Cheryl calling in again."
Yeah, actually, I don't take calls yet, but that's
You don't
probably
take
something
calls
I
yet?
need to do.
Okay. Well, good. So we will definitely follow you and look forward to hearing your show.
Thank you very much, guys.
Great, thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, take care.
And so I would like to welcome 4 or 5 more listeners / viewers to the show. I gave everybody a business card. I'm showing it to the camera. That for those of you that are just listening on the audio, it looks pretty much like the logo that you probably see in the your podcast app. So welcome to the podcast. Didn't go look at a couple of the previous shows, kind of all over the map. One of them was asking me, well, do you do just politics or other stuff? And so if you looked at some of the other shows, we do other stuff as well, because people can't live by politics alone. So just a little look at the experience of some of the folks that voted here in the north side of Cary, the precinct at the Cary Academy, just down the road from where I live. And so thank you, everybody, for doing that. And that is it for this episode of the Triangle Talk Show. Which episode was this again? Episode 6, Politics, May 8th, 2018. I am Gary Pierce. Goodbye, everybody. Over and out.